welcome back to this channel. This is where you can learn new information on how to speed up your manifestation. And today I want to talk about someone who really changed the game in the manifestation business. Her name is Helen Hadsell. I don't know if you heard about her before, but she was very popular in the 1950s and 60s because she was winning every single contest that she was entering to. Every single one of them. It's crazy. She was applying deep knowledge of the law of attraction because she had read before a book from Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of the Positive Mind. I'll rephrase that if it's not right. And based on that, she decided, okay, well then I can get anything I want. So she said, you select it, you project it, you expect it, and collect it, right? And basically it's just her way of saying things that you already heard before, I'm sure, but I like to see how confident she is towards her desires, right? What stuck with me is that one of the things is that she really applied the reference in the Bible when it says dig the ditches, y'all shall not see rain, y'all shall not feel the wind, but still prepare yourself for what you want to see. She did that. At some point, she was manifesting a trip for her 40th birthday. She wanted to go to Paris, and she got her passport ready. She got the shots because she was like, okay, I know I won, so how long would it take them to tell me that I won? That's how confident she was. And I love this. I love it. And this is a good affirmation because you're tricking your mind, right? You're telling your mind that I won. So why aren't they telling me this yet? Probably there's something they have to fix in their system that explains the delay or whatever, because I know I won. Because let's say she started to enter contests in January and her birthday was in June. It was May and she still had any news of her winning. And still she kept that faith. She persists in the assumption that she won. And she was like, well, I don't know how long it will take, but I know I won, right? I love that. Persist, guy. This is a great example of persisting. And the other thing that I really like about her is that she's saying there's no failure. Whatever you want, as soon as you ask it, you claim it, and it's yours. But you can have some delay. So there was one time when she wanted a color TV, and it took a lot of months. After a few months, after I think 7 or 8 months, she gave up. She's like, you know what? It takes too much time. I don't feel like waiting anymore, so I'm just gonna buy a TV. But I realized in that book, like a few months later, she manifested that TV, but for her mom or something. She had the opportunity to have the TV. It's just that she didn't want it to wait all this time. So it's very interesting. That kind of mindset really helps you to get whatever you want, because one, you understand that you have to prepare yourself, act fully as if it is done. So now it's just a matter of telling you when you get it. And the second thing is to really understand that there's no such thing as failure. You're gonna get what you want. It's just, it can take a few seconds or it can take a few years, but still you're gonna get it. So without any further delay, I'm sharing with you the clip of when she explaining how she manifested her dream house. Keep watching.
And so on the way home, driving home, because Dallas is 27 miles from Irving, rather, all I could think about was, God, I'd like to win a new house. That's perfect. Yeah, I think I'll win that house. So the next day, it's drizzling, and two of my friends that were in this contest club with me live in Irving. So I called one of them and I said, let's go over and see that Formica house and enter. And she said, you know, they've already picked the entries. It's in New York, and they've already picked the entries. And she said, no. And the other one was having her rug shampoo. She couldn't go. And I tried. I said, I'll even buy you a pizza on the way. Let's go. And nobody would go with me. It's starting to drizzle, rain, and something actually pulled me out. The next thing I knew, I'm in the car driving 53 miles to go to that Formica house. And when I got there, I sat in one of the chairs and I looked at everything around there, and I'm already deciding that I want Spanish furniture. I'm already building the inside of the house. And there wasn't anybody there except the woman that sat, at the open house. I registered my name and I registered Pat's name. And I took an entry blank home. And that night, I'm reading the entry blank and it said, "You must have visited the home." And I said, "Oh my God." I put in Pat's name and Pat might win this. Do you know that Saturday morning, Pat got up and I said, "We're getting in the car. You're driving to Garland and you're going to look at that house. So when they call you, you can say you visited that." He did. He got to where he believed what I said. We drove all that way so he could look at that house. And that was it. It was a done deal. Now we come home and he draws the plans for the house. And he tells the kids, "Mama's going to win us this big house." Where do we want it? We're out looking for lots. We've got the plan here, so when they come, we can be ready. And then it was a month. Now the contest closed that weekend. It was a month later when somebody on the phone called Pat. I'm in Dallas, and they called Pat. And they asked Pat, "Is Mrs. Hadsell there?" "No, she's at a meeting." "Your husband?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Did she did she go to that Formica home?" And Pat said, "Oh, we were both there. I'm so impressed with that laminated Formica. We were so impressed." And he said the right thing. And that was it. And he said, he said, "We're just checking everybody to see if they actually did go, and there's nothing here. Thank you, Mr. Hadsell, for your time." That was all he said. And so I came home that night, and he was ecstatic. Well, we won our house, and all we did was, I wonder how long it's going to take them to let us know we won. And that's all I told the kids. And so it was about another month later. Morning, I woke up and I said, the kids were at breakfast, the two boys were still there, and my daughter was in college, and I said, "Well, listen, they're going to let us know we won this house. For God's sake, act surprised." And they went off to school. And my husband said, "Are you sure they're coming?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Just stay in bed." And I said, "Pretend, we're just going to wait for them." Well, at 2 o'clock, and now it's 1 o'clock, and I went to the bakery to get some bakery, and I'm getting ready to put the coffee pot on when they come, and nothing happens. And about 2:30, I get this phone call, and they say, Mrs. Hadsell, when does your husband get off work?" And I said, "Well, he's here now." They were waiting for him to get off work so they could tell us together. I said, "Well, he's here. And I said, "He just took the day off." Well, then we're coming right out. We're representatives, vice president of Formica, and our PR man. We want to come out and tell you something very, very interesting for you. And I thought, yeah. And then I, of course, reminded Pat to act surprised, They came in the door. I acted surprised. "Oh my God, oh no, not me, oh no." And I told Pat, "Don't show him the plans." So we're talking, and he said, "Well, where do you want it?" And I said, "Well, there's a new area, and I said, "And we have the plans." And the guy looked at me, and I said, "Well, we were planning on building a house, but we didn't tell them that they were going to pay for it, And so we had all the plans there, and he couldn't believe it, you know. And I said, yeah, we had plans of enlarging this place, and that's how it came about.
I know this video inspired you, so do not give up. Keep persisting. You're gonna get your manifestation. So don't forget to subscribe and to like this video, and see you next time.